Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube. Thanks for joining me today. This is Inflewence, and I got another creative project for you involving the PS5. This is the PS5 DualSense controller. So, going to be customizing it. I got the Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel, alcohol prep pad, which is what you'll need, some type of alcohol. Maybe you can just get isopropyl alcohol, little sandpaper. Got like 2000 grit because I don't want it. You don't want it too rough because you don't want to rough it up too much, but you do want to rough this part up. Now I'm gonna be painting this black part red, so my controller is gonna be white and red. It's just a quick customization because that black part, I don't know how many people know, but the black part comes off super easy on the controller. So I'll be painting it with this gloss protective enamel. I heard it's pretty good for durability, and I am painting it this time. When I did my PS5, I did plastic dip because I wanted to be able to take it off if I needed to and convert it back to stock. The controller I'm not too much worried about because even if it does break or something, I don't know. They might not even care if it's not stock when you send it back, or they might not take it back. So it might just be a lost cause once it breaks, or I don't think it'll have as much trouble as the PS5 could have. That's where I'm getting at. So I wanted to be able to take the PS5 back to stock. This I don't really care about. So red's one of my favorite colors, and I think it'll look sick, red and white. I like custom stuff. I just like stuff to be my own. I often do different things just because experimentation and all. So first we want to take this off. So I'm gonna just show how this comes off super easy. Just want to get something underneath here. It's just on with some clips. Just be careful not to break anything. I got my nail underneath there, and you pull, and you see that comes off super easy. The only hard part is this is underneath, kind of, but it'll come up automatically. Getting it back on is a little harder. So then I just pull this off. Just pull that up. Go slow because you don't want to break nothing. Break none of these clips or anything. Pull that off. And like I said, this is like underneath that. So it has to pull back a little bit so you don't break anything. And pull it off. And there you go. And there you go. Just have this. And that's it. Not going to be painting the top of this. Only want the top and the bottom here, which is this. I don't care about overspray or anything since it is paint. It's not too much you need to do. Just take this. I'm going to sand it with the 2000 grit real quick. 2000 doesn't do much. Just gives it a little surface to adhere to. So it's not as glossy. The paint is glossy, so it'll cover all the glossy parts. Yeah. You don't want to sand it down to be a different thing. Just want to sand, try to get in corners. You can see some of the sand and dust. That means it's working. Actually sanding a little bit of the plastic off. That's why you don't want to go too hard. Just enough to get that little glossiness out of it. Don't want anything crazy. Especially try to get up here because that does go underneath. I think that's good. All right, so now I'm gonna wipe it down with some alcohol. Get everything nice and clean, get all that dust off. You may want to wipe it with a towel too. You should see like it being dull. You see that colorization? That's like scraping up the actual plastic. So if there's a part that isn't dull, after it all dries, that means you missed sanding. In here doesn't look as well as it could be. So I'm going to sand that a little bit more. Doesn't matter if you know this mic, just to let you know, just in case, this mic thing will be gone. Everything that's on here, well, there's nothing else on here. Everything else is actually on the controller, so it doesn't really matter. But just that mic, you know that's the mic. At least you should, once you get to know the controller. Get this right. If anybody sprayed plastic before, they know. Get this cleaned off. Should be good. Should be good to go. Spraying in a box like I did before. This is not crazy amount of stuff. I'm just going to keep the overspray, or try to keep the overspray at a minimum. This paint will dry. I'm gonna have a link in the description for the paint, and it'll dry in 24 hours fully where you can reassemble. So if you don't have another controller, you might want to wait to get 2 controllers before you do this, or just know you won't be able to play for 24 hours because you want this completely dry before you reassemble. This ain't a big project, so I am doing it indoors. I would advise you not to, but sorry, I have good ventilation. So now after a couple minutes, I turned it and I want to spray probably both sides. I'm gonna spray, give another coat, and then just let it dry. You want to move it just so it doesn't get stuck. So I'm gonna move it to over here, out of the puddle. May get some on your hands. That's cool. That's what happens when you paint. But so now just gonna leave it there to dry. Probably take like 24 hours. So now with the power of editing, I'm back in it, and this looks to be the final product. I like the paint. Like I said, I have a link in the description. This is very good, like glossy paint. One thing I forgot to mention, these grill pieces. I'm gonna see if I can poke them out now. Maybe I should have poked them out. So if you decide to do this project, you might want to poke out the holes. I ain't think about the holes that the speaker grill, the sound comes out of. And maybe it's better now to do it like this because it's less mess. And this tool is actually perfect. This is a spudger. I'm gonna have to clean off because I use it for figures. But then I'm just gonna clean off this little excess back here. Probably should use better sandpaper. But anyway, and that's where this will go, which ain't bad. It's kind of sunken in, and this is on top. It's not really gonna touch anything. So let's just get this back together. See what it looks like. You gotta put it like in there and then down, because it does kind of go underneath, and you can't see that when I'm talking about right here. You gotta try to put it like in, because it does stick underneath these things. But once you do that, you can kind of push it forward and pull it down at the same time. Hopefully it goes in. Seems like everything's in there. And voila, there you go. You got your, now I've seen people deck this out. I've seen one guy make new buttons, which was crazy. He you know, he's on another level with that. But as far as getting a little custom, this is a very easy way. So I really like the way it came out. I really like the way it looks. And that's about it. So if you like this tutorial, I guess it's a tutorial, give me a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, the usual stuff. And I will get up in the next one.
Life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want it.